Like an old man talking about Paul breaking back in '64. I started in the 3rd grade. How much time have I got?
You can go ahead. This is why you're last.
You know, you fans are so important in all these great pickers and bluegrass music. But more important to me is my family. My wife, Lucille, I want her to stand up. She's here tonight.
Yeah, good.
My oldest daughter, Kendra, and my son-in-law, Dan, stand up. And my youngest daughter, Sherry, and Steve, my son-in-law. So give them another big round of applause. They done all the work, mowed the lawn, and took care of things while I was out playing bluegrass music for over 50 years. Starting in the 3rd grade in a little country school. We did that for a few years. In 1948, there were 110 school districts in Shannon County. And there's something about the water down there in the hills of Shannon County with Alley Spring, Round Spring, Echo Bluff, and on and on and on that produced some pretty decent musicians. The Go Force, I could go on and on. Don Brown's widow, his wife, Betty Rosa from our area down there, on and on and on. And then finally in the late 40s, we graduated out of those old country schools. We thought we were at the Ryman, you know, a little wood stage there, and they had bed sheets for curtains. Well, we'd play and entertain for several years, and then the VFW halls came in. Bill Monroe came with Jimmy Martin, Gordon Terry down in 1948 in Emmaus, Missouri to VFW Hall. Bob Walsh, who established with the General Assembly of the State of Missouri, making the fiddle the acoustic instrument of the state of Missouri. We played a whole winter in Ellington, Missouri. And then they started having talent contests. I got to tell this little, I could tell stories all night.
I know.
Paul Break knew 3 chords, and he did the guitar work. And he was a rural teacher, and he taught there several years, and he came to this area, and that's where he got acquainted with Zane, I'm sure, and Dean Crow, and some of the other great pickers. We found out about a talent show over in Winona, Missouri. And I don't remember the exact year, but it was early 50s, maybe 51, 52. And the seniors, for the first time, were trying to raise money to take a little trip. I remember first place was $15, second place was $10, and third was $5. And so I told Paul and Jack Shopley, I said, we're going to go over there. We didn't really care if we won. We're going to play because we love to play. Jack was a little bit bashful. When we arrived in that little gymnasium, we heard a sound coming out of the back room there. Man, it was mean. It was great. And Jack stopped for a second. He said, boys, I ain't playing. Can you hear that? And we went on down. I said, yeah, we come over here to play. Guess who was back there playing? Porter Wagner, Don Russell, Don Hoagland, Ural Albert, and Granville Nichols. Yeah. 5 of the greatest bluegrass pickers that's ever in the Ozarks, even though a lot of them didn't make it through the bluegrass circuit. And we won it. Not really. They gave us the $15 because they were local. And I always kidded Jack. I said, yeah, Porter and them boys wasn't near as good as they thought they was. You know? Well, he went on to say, you know, I guess the Kern River Operas, when we really formed a bluegrass band, Kenny Seaman. Kenny went to school with me, and he was one of the greatest baseball players I had in all my years of coaching. And he started out doing Johnny Cash stuff, and we got him off of that. And he learned to play the banjo, and we formed bluegrass bands. And then after a couple of 3 years, on the Kern River Opera, I just want to mention that. You know, Flatt and Scruggs was there 3 times. Jimmy Martin was there 2 times, and I just go on and on. Roy Cup, they were all there. There used to be a book written about the Kern River Opera. But anyway, we decided we wanted to go out. The festival started occurring after Bill Monroe had his out in Bean Blossom, Indiana. Bill Grant and Bill Jones the same year had festivals, and then Kenny Seaman had one the next year. So we hit the road, and that's where the Ozark Bluegrass boys came in. And Lou Broadfoot went to school to me. Boy, Lou's looking old, and he's agey, and he's here tonight. And he was my second banjo picker, and he's a member of the Ozark Bluegrass Boys. 3 of us are still alive. And Guy Stevenson's here. Guy worked with me 10 years, and for some reason left me and went to work for Bill Monroe. Never could figure that out exactly. So we played in the governor's mansion for the governor, and then we played a couple of inaugurations down through the years. Well, I could go on and on and on and on and on. Another great thrill I had is not just Kenny Seaman and Luke Broadfoot, but on down the line. CJ's probably the worst one I had out of that whole bunch.
I knew this was going to happen. I'm ready for it. Go ahead.
Well, I could tell the Tom Bradford story too, let me tell you. I don't have time for that, do I? Second time I met Tom, I had 5 years of festival in Van Buren, Missouri, back in the 70s. First year, it was 3 o'clock in the morning. We had a little cabin rented there, and somebody knocked on the door that knew that I was in charge of the festival. He said, "You need to get up." Said, "There's a guy down there in the car." Said, "I think he's dead." I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah." I said, he's purple. He's turned purple, and I don't think he's alive." But boy, I hurried. We went down there, and here was this kind of heavy-set guy, and what he'd done, he parked the car on the bank, and he went to sleep with his head way down on the low side, and all the blood run to his head, and he turned purple. And even though he had a pair of shorts on and those, even those purple legs, he had a butterfly, and that, I bet it's still there, butterfly tattooed on his side. I think that's funny, seeing him fight the kangaroo. But anyway. Great stories. Bluegrass, I don't think I have this in my memorabilia. I have about a 42-minute visit with Bill Monroe on the couch, and I don't think I have this as positive proof, but Bill Monroe told me 2 or 3 times, he said, "The Ozarks started my bluegrass music." He said, "Don't get me wrong, the people of Kentucky are great, I love them, but he said, the people of the Ozarks is what put bluegrass music into high gear." And give yourself a big round of applause, all right? Many of these guys have come and gone, I start to name them all. And more important than all these pickers and whatever are you, the fans. I think Ernest Tubb taught me the first lesson about that, and boy, you couldn't get it any better. Don't forget the fans. You people, I'll guarantee nobody'd be here tonight if you weren't sitting out there listening to this gobbledygook stuff, So you, the fans, are so important in bluegrass music. Now, I ask you one real important favor. Hold on to real bluegrass. Don't let this bluegrass shift over to the wrong side. As long as we got young guys like Chi-Chi Pupadowski here, and I nickname all the boys Elmer Fudd Judd. Boy, don't he sweat good. I took him over to Alley Spring and Jacks Fork River, and he jumped off of a 40-foot bluff into the Jacks Fork River, and it ran backward for 3 miles. Elmer Fudd Judd, and old Lightning. I've got 2 of the youngest boys here somewhere tonight. Right here on the front row is Tutu. His real name is, what is your real name? And he's working with me now. He's been with me 3 years, and he's a good one. Harlow, where are you?
Harlow here?
Harlow's here somewhere.
Oh,
Yeah,
there he is there. Okay. In the back.
Yeah, give him a big round of applause. He's been with me about 10 months. He's handy. Zach Harvey, Steve Lawson, Steve Thomas. Frank Ray was in the group. Boy, I couldn't keep Frank too long. He was hard on gas mileage. One time we were playing down at Branson, and the boys hadn't seen an antique store, and out in front of the antique store was an old-time weigh scales, where you'd step up on the little platform and put a penny in, and your weight would come stamped out on a little piece of cardboard, There's no wino or a homeless guy standing right there on the corner, and he kept looking at Frank. He looked Frank all over it, upside down and backward. Finally, we had Frank to stand up on the platform, and we put in the penny. You know what the cardboard said? One at a time, please. Enough storytelling, that's just a drop in the bucket. Special thanks to the Missouri Air Bluegrass Committee for hanging right in there. And I've been pretty negligent from time to time, not paying my dues, but boy, I remember back to Jeff and Adina Cook, and boy, I miss Gene Roberts. Actually, Gene Roberts originally was from Hartshorn. That's where Frank was from, too. Of course, Gene was a lot more valuable than Frank, but keep on supporting bluegrass music. Keep on having fun. It's the greatest family in the world. It's been a great ride for me. It's an honor to receive that. Thank you very much. Good night, everybody.
Our newest pioneer of Missouri bluegrass music, Mr. Jim Orchard.